So we should start with today's session. Yesterday's session you got to know about Yesterday's session you got to know about pseudo classes. Today we shall see pseudo element. First what I will do, I will take one h2 tag. So I have just taken h2 element and I have written a, like we are almost at the end of CSS, like sentence I have formed. So this is a h2 element. I am going to explain you about how pseudo elements will work. So the sentence you can see here, which is of h2 element. First line you can do with either pseudo classes or pseudo elements, but first letter will always be for pseudo classes. I'm just going to use style tag. So here I'm going to write h2. So if you can see, it works for pseudo classes too. For pseudo element also it will work, this thing. For pseudo classes, like you have used double colon, that's it, nothing different. But for first letter you should have double colons, which is pseudo element, first letter. So only the first letter will be there. Look here, only the first letter you can highlight it. So I have to use 2 colons for pseudo elements. And one more thing is, I'll just add one image here, img. So look here, the image is getting displayed here, right? You have one more property in pseudo elements, which is you can add image or after. So what I will do, when I added image, after the text it is showing, right? I'll just comment it. So I have not used the image here. Here I can write before or after. First I will write before. Before. Here I have to write content. Content, and then you have to write URL, and inside this you have to add the image. So before the text the image will be displayed, like something. If you want to display before some elements, you can use this pseudo element. Look, the image has come before the text. If you do it after, it will come after CSS. Like this is before H2. H2 starts from here before H2, and now I'm going to write after. Look here, after it is getting displayed. So I have not used the image tag, but I have made sure to make this image display before or after the H2 element by using this after or before value in pseudo elements. And you have one more, which is selection. So have you ever tried selecting, like if you are copy pasting from online, have you selected anything? Like yeah. So when we select like this, what happens, right? Can you see this is the same for almost everything, right? So let me go for some content here. Let me select. Looks same. Background is blue and the text is getting white, right? We can change that with selection. So H2, first I'll show you in my web page. When I am selecting, text color will be white, background will be blue, right? I'll change it when I select. So here you have another one, which is selection. Color red. So now if I select, look how it is looking. So this is possible from pseudo element only. Like how you select, you can change when you select, right? So this is from pseudo element selection. And next you have opacity. In general, does anyone know what opacity means? Not obesity, opacity. Look, you have an image here now. You have this image, right? How it is looking? How it is looking? It is a little bit dark, right? It is looking somewhat dark, right? I can make it transparent. Like I can remove those darkness there with the property opacity. img image tag, and I can use opacity. It get mostly blurred when I use 0.1. So the value will be from 0.1 to 0.9. That's it. 0.1. Can you see now? But you can still see this mountain race here. You can see it, right? I'll give the opacity to 0.5. I'll just reduce half of it. Can you see now? The transparency will be blurred. That is what opacity, and the values will be 0.1 to 0.9. I'll give 0.9. It almost look like the same image. Look here, it's almost same. I'll give 0.6. And it is not only for image. You can give a background color. Then you can reduce the transparency with this opacity property. And always remember 0.1 to 0.9. That's it. Now let us create a navbar. So this is one of the main thing you have to know. Like to create a navbar, there are so many ways. But as a beginner, you should know one which is very quick to do. So look here, I have empty thing here. Look, the page is empty. Now I am going to take UL. What is UL? Unordered list. So after this, what tag should I use? So I have this list. So after this, when I click on something, right, it should navigate. For that, which tag I should be using? Like I'm going to make it as a home page. When I click home, it should go for home page.
Button?
Anchor tag. Anchor tag was right. So inside the list, I'm going to use anchor tag. And here I'm going to make home. This as home. And I'm going to use a href attribute. I'll give ash for now. Href. I'll give hash. And I'll create 4 lists. 1, 2, 3, 4. Home, products, services, contact us. So if you see our web page, this is how it is. I'll just reduce the size. This is what you will get once you have written the list. Now this list, I have to make a navbar like this. Here, can you see here? Like this, I have to do this thing. How I'm going to do that? So first, what I have used, UL, right? Unordered list. I'll take that UL element. I'll remove those dots first. Which property should I be using? List style type none. List none. So first dots will be removed. Next I'll give a background color. So this is how it is looking now. And if you see at the top left, all those, you can see some spaces, right? What I'll do, margin and padding, I'll use 0. Which still it is taking space. We'll go for body tag. No, there is no space, right? Now, when you see a navbar, it is not listing one below one. It should be one after one, right? So, where I have written this home, product, services, and contact us? Where? Inside the list, right? Li float left. But the color has went off, right? It was one below one. Now it is one next to one. The color has went off. That is because when you made it float left, right, this was overridden. What I'll do, I'll write overflow hidden. Overflow what it has to, I'll hide it. Now you got this, right? You got the background color and it is not having space and it has been underlined, right? So what I'll do now, how I can remove the underline first? For which? For anchor tag. For anchor tag it will be underlined. For anchor tag I should be writing text decoration none. Now where is that anchor tag? It is inside list, right? Li, in that LIA. The first thing I am going to do is that I am going to remove those, or else underline let it be. I will give padding first. Padding 16 pixel, 14 pixel, so that it will increase in size. Can you see now the space, the padding what it has taken? Now I will, you can see this underline, right? That is what I am going to remove now. That underline I am going to remove. text decoration none. Now the underline is removed, and I'll make this display as block. Display block. Now can you see how it is showing like a navbar? I'll go for a different font family. Font family. Where is Vardhana? Can you see text now? And I'll make that as color white, and I'll increase some font size. Let me go with 30 pixel. It will be large. I can reduce it. Yeah, look. Is it looking like exactly a navbar now? And one more thing, like now you have created a navbar. Now when you hover onto it, like you should know what you are selecting, right? Now it is just the mouse is on products, but it should know you are there, the mouse is getting hovered there. So here again I'm going to write LIA hover. Hover. Background color. Not color, background color. The whole thing what you have selected, it should be knowing. Here it is light gray. So now when I hover, now you know what you are selecting. So this is how you can create a navbar. This thing is completely different in React. Style it is same, but it is completely different in React. So if you know this, you will have lightest of ideas like to design that. Now you have created this navbar. Now you have to create 4 pages. I'll show you. I'll just create one folder. Sorry, it became a file. I want to create a folder. Navbar. Inside this navbar, I will create a product page. Product.html. Now what I'll do, I'll copy this whole thing. What was the page name I created? Yeah, pseudo elements. Control A, Control C. Now I'll go for product page. I will paste here. Now here what I'll do, I'll drag and drop some images. I think it takes eternity to open. Desktop. So my folder name was HTML examples. And I'll go for Google and I'll download some pages there. I'm sorry, I'll download some products. Product images. I'll change the name to headphone. HAD. I'll take one more product. 2 is enough, I think. I'll take camera. Now what I'll do, I'll go for the product page. So this is product.html. I copied everything from there and I pasted it here. Here I'll place that image. SRC headphone. The name was headphone. Here is the headphone, and I'll paste another thing with it, which was camera. I'll run this separately, or else let me give you a surprise then. Now I have this page, right? Now when I click on products page, the product page should open. So when I click here, look here, HTML, it will show ash here, right? So I'll go back, I'll refresh back. Here in this products, I will link that product.html in this page. So this was my initial page. Here I'm going to write it as /navbar/product.html. Now when I click products, product page will be open. When I click products, look, product page open. So like this, you have to create one navbar and you have to add the 4 images here. Like for everything, for products you should have products, for services you should have some context. Like for right now I have not connected any, you should create it, and in those all the pages there should be a header. And one more thing, you got confusion here, like you should add 2 dots here. This is what relative path and all those means. When you are this page, this product.html, this is inside a folder navbar. This navbar is inside a folder of HTML examples. So you have to use 2 dots, which will take from the main folder from start. A single dot, current folder. Got it? Like if you want to get it from the main folder, you have to give 2 dots. Okay, this is for now. I'll just stop and I'll share the video, get it done. Then I'll go with a new concept. You're able to see my screen, right? I have shared screen. I will do one drop down separately, but you guys should do the drop down for that navbar, okay? I'll show you how. Look here, I'll create one div here. As you can see, there's nothing here. You can see, right? There's nothing. Below here, this is home page, not products. In products, you have this products. But I'm talking about this home page, okay? In this home page, what I'll do, I'll create one div. Inside this div, I'll create one button. I'll write travel. And after this, inside a div, I'm writing another div. And here I'm going to write anchor tag. I'll write on air. I'll give one href. I'll just give hash. On land. water. So this is what you are seeing here, right? I'll use 3 classes. Here I'll give the class name as dd, stands for drop down. Okay, here I'll give a class name of ddb, drop down button, and for this div I'm going to give a class name ddc, drop down content. dd drop down, ddb drop down button, ddc drop down content. So still there's nothing difference if you see here. Now I'll start styling. First, for this drop down I'll style. I'll go here. First the drop down, the main div I'm going to style position, relative, display, inline, block. So still no difference, you can see. Now I'll go for button, which is in the travel, ddb dot ddb. First I'll give padding, 12 pixel, 16 pixel. So the button, it got a little bit bigger in size, right? Now I'll give width, width got large, right? Now I'll change color and background color. Now you have styled the button, but if you can see there is a border, right? A black color border there. To make the difference, I'll just add one break tag here, or else a HR tag. For you guys, you should not just use this HR tag, you should make it exact one. So if you see, now there will be a line. Look here, you can see this travel, right? For that there is a border. I will remove the border. Border none. So now there is no border. Now on air, on land, on water, it is in drop down content, right? I'll go for class ddc dot ddc and make position absolute first. Look, now it got shrink, right? Like below this line only it is able to show. I'll use z index 1. Now after this, in this GDC there is an anchor tag, right? Dot DDC, in this content anchor tag, display block. Notice one below one, right? Now I'll use padding. I'll give the same 12 and 16. Look how it is looking now. Then what I'll do, text decoration none. can see, right? This thing should be shown when you hover it. I'll still style it. I'll do text. I'll just give one background color for this. Background color, I'll go with honeydew. You can see that color, right? That color you can see, right? Honeydew color. But if you see the width, it is not taking that much. So what width I have given for this? 140 pixel. I'll give the same width for content. Now if you see, it has covered, right? The text is not at the center. I'll use text align center for this anchor tag. Text align center. Now it is at the center, right? Now when I hover this, it should display, not only before. So what I'll do, first I will hide this, which is DDC, drop down content, display none. Look here, display none. When I hover it, it should be able to display. So I should hover the main div, which is DD. So here dot DD colon hover. When it's hover, DDC, this DDC is none, right? Space dot drop down content should be displayed as a block. Display block. Look now, when I hover, there should be a drop down, and when I hover on these things, right, it should also hover. So that is from DDCA dot DDCA hover. Background color, I'll use hash F1 F1 F1. Look now, when I hover, there's a background, right? So this is what drop down means. So this is how you can create a drop down. Now when you are creating this navbar, right, for home page there should be no drop down. For products, it should be electrical products, second one mechanical products. There should be 2 drop downs. Next, when you come services, you should add 3 drop downs. That is left to you, like service 1, service 2, service 3. Like that you have to make a drop down. When you come on contact us, there should be 3 drop down: phone, mail, Twitter. For those drop downs, this is how it should be. Like this you have to style. When you move on here, down below the drop down should be. And on that drop down, you should have a hover thing there too. Okay, got it, right? What I'm trying to say? Yeah, then I'll share the video. If you don't want to see it, don't see it. Like if you want a reference, you can see it and you can get the job done.